Sue, Gary.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the planning board.
Glad to be back.
Thank you.
Your seats are for both,
3 years.
for 3 years.
Yeah.
Correct.
Huge commitments,
Huge.
Oh, yes.
yes.
That's why we're here, right, Gary?
That's right.
Ms. Bascom also was reelected to ZBA. Congratulations.
Congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Thank you for your volunteering.
You're welcome.
It's a big commitment. I wanted to, I guess, we'll just go through this agenda, right? Because that's what we're gonna, so we have introduction of members. Oh, we're live. So, we'll go around the room. You wanna start, Joe?
Going backwards, sorry. Joe
Yeah.
Clough.
Gary Anderson.
Susan Mooney.
Dirk Brotenheis?
Edward Veal.
Teresa Bascom.
Is that a New Year thing? Just switch.
Catching you off guard. Get into a routine and then sometimes, it's not that good. It's the new year. So we're gonna go for election of officers. So we have a chairperson, vice chairperson, a secretary, CIP representative, and the regional planning commission representative. I don't know how to proceed. Is there anybody that would like to either be the chairperson for this next year or would like to nominate somebody to be the chairperson?
I would like to nominate you, Dirk, for chair.
Okay,
I'll second that.
Second.
all right, there's a motion and a second. Any discussion on that?
I have a question for you. Is it something you want, or do you want, because it's been two terms, do you want us to have someone else do it for a while?
I'm comfortable in doing it.
Okay.
The want, sure. I mean, it doesn't matter to me whether I'm a member or the chairperson. I'm okay either way. I mean, if you have, if you want to be a chairperson,
Fine. If you're available and.
I'm
feel
available.
Okay, and I'm okay.
Yep, I'm available to do that. Any other discussion? Those in favor, indicate aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? I'm the chairman. Vice chair, same thing. Is there anybody interested in doing that, or is the existing person comfortable in doing it?
I'm both willing to do it, and I'm also willing to give someone else a try. Teresa's been doing a lot in the last couple of years, and I know she wears a lot of hats though too, so.
Yeah, I'm comfortable. I nominate Ed.
That's your answer?
Seconded.
Nomination is second. Any other discussion? I think the only comment I would have is that I rely on Ed quite a bit for doing a lot of the kind of legwork when I'm not available, so I appreciate that, and I'm happy that you're willing to do that again.
Yeah.
So, any other comments?
We all do. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for your past participation in that capacity, and we look forward to another year, or another, I guess 1 year.
1 year.
1 year.
Yeah, and I think you and I, I'll try to communicate a little bit better with you when we get our, make sure, like, when I'm not available and stuff like that, one of us is always here.
I would
So
add,
far, we've been okay.
going into my second year on the board, having consistency and the steady hand that you both have brought to the table makes me feel comfortable with the direction of the board, so.
There's a motion and a second. Those will vote. Those in favor, indicate aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Unanimous. Secretary, again, any people interested in that position, or is the person existing comfortable with that position?
I am comfortable, yeah. Really, the only heavy lifting I have to do, or do, is write up an article for the newsletter every now and then, trying to inform the public of what's going on.
And you do great at that.
Thank you.
Would you mind sending out those
Nominate Sue.
dates again, the newsletter dates, just the deadlines, if you have them?
After we
Joanne?
vote her in.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay,
I nominate Sue for secretary.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion on those, on the nomination of Sue for secretary?
Thank you for your willingness to
thank you, Gary.
come back on that. And,
Joe, and seconded.
Those in favor indicate aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
That goes to Buzz.
Chairperson recognizes Robert Davies for stepping in as the alternate.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
In absentia, we appointed you to many things.
I'm sure. That's why I showed up, just to make sure.
No change thus far.
So, yeah, so far we've
think
gone
there
through
will be.
chair, vice chair, and secretary, and those have remained the same as the previous year.
Joanna's asking if we need any hard copies.
And the CIP representatives, currently Joe. Again, if you're interested,
Absolutely.
I nominate Joe.
second that.
motion and a second by Gary. Any discussion?
I think it's helpful to have some consistency there, especially
Right.
if we become more familiar with
Yeah,
budget process and everything, so.
Learning curve
Thank
is
you.
over. Yep. There, thank you. Those in favor indicate aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That's unanimous. And then the Stratford Regional Planning Commission representative has been Gary. Is that something that you want to continue with?
I'd like to do that again, unless somebody feels they can make the meetings better than myself. I know that isn't a perfect,
Yeah, those are tough meetings to make.
If they are in Rochester, though, if you know in advance that you won't be able to make one, if you let me know, might be able to make it. I work in Rochester now, so.
Same here. Let me know when I
I can do that.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Great arrangement.
And it's a good enough committee that, or group that, you know, if there's a representative from the community,
Right.
you know, it doesn't have to be that representative from the board.
Yeah, I think that's pretty open to whoever's there.
I'll nominate Gary Anderson to be our SRPC rep.
Second.
Motion and second. Any other discussion? Those in favor indicate aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That's unanimous. So we have consistency. Now, these votes aren't official until the 28th, where we will just reconfirm them. The next thing is the 2018 planning goals. Now, in the past, we've written down a few goals. Have, I don't know, a few different lists. Maybe we can freshen those up by just going through what we think as the new board wants to tackle over the year. And was there a current list?
I emailed that out a while back, and then when I saw that, I added it to the list that I already shut down my computer, sorry. So I just printed it for you all tonight. Do you want me to email it again? It was.
Do you know what they are off the top of your head?
Actually.
Then you can just read them to us, and then we can talk about them.
That's a really good point.
I think one is the zoning, or use on Route 4.
Yeah, we want to look at the commercial use, the residential use, and zoning along Route 4. I think that's a good priority.
Yeah, that's one that, has been mentioned, but it's not on our list.
Yep.
So it's the project, list that or chart that I had sent out before, the update the floodplain section of zoning ordinance, that's supposed to be, the building inspector and I. That was mentioned by Charlene, that the GIS, implementing GIS we put down, is, in the budget now.
Yep.
Safe roads, off-site improvements, and create additional scenic roads is being tasked out by the transportation committee.
Yep.
Or subcommittee. Protection of low water streams, we said that's gonna be started.
Yeah, yes.
Master plan subcommittee not yet formed. I actually spoke with Charlene last night at the election, and she mentioned that that might be something she'd be willing to do if she ends up not being on this board as the ex officio. Once they determine who's gonna be on here as a select board. So,
Yeah, that's something that we did talk about in the transportation subcommittee as well,
Okay.
is, that chapter on transportation might be something that we would tackle in that subcommittee. So there are some movement there where we should be updating this master plan.
Okay, excellent. And then review impact on the town in 2019 of ADUs. You have in front of you, Dirk, it's not OEP anymore, OSI, I think it's called now. The annual spring conference, I sent out the email to everybody. They have an ADU section in there. That's becoming a really big thing coming to the building inspector's office. ADU a lot. So we really need to get our heads wrapped around it and how we're going to be implementing. Are we going to do impact fees? Because it's something that's still a possibility. You know, all that type of stuff. So detached, not all that kind of stuff. So if you guys, anybody can make it, please let me know, and I'll get everybody scheduled or register, I should say, to go to that.
And
conference.
I'm sorry, there was a section on ADUs in here?
Yeah, yes, there is.
Okay.
Has there been any significant changes in the law on that?
There's been
I
a
know
few
we,
things come forward. I don't recall them off the top of my head, but I can send out an email on that if you'd like.
I was just trying to look at the
What's the date on the
RSA on it, see.
conference?
The 28th.
I'm looking for it.
The 28th
It's upper right.
Saturday, the 28th.
Yeah.
of April?
Oh,
March.
it's small up there.
Is there,
April 28th.
April, sorry.
is there a
April.
cost
Oh, okay.
associated? Because
Yeah.
I'm available until like 10:30, 11 that morning, but then I have to go to Maine. But there's a couple things in the AM that I was interested in, but I don't want to incur the cost for the town if it's expensive or if it's for the full day.
There's a cost, I don't recall which one was $60 and which one was 45, I think.
Okay.
There's two that I was looking at going to. So I can let you know, or you can look at it when you get home and see. But if you can't find it, let me know.
And I would think that we could also, if someone's only going to be attending a morning session and somebody wants to attend the afternoon session, we should probably be able to get that credit under the same.
Should be able to split it.
Yeah, that
That's my
actually
thought.
would work because I can only go in the afternoon.
Okay.
And if the cost is that
Interesting.
low, it's cheaper than many of the other,
Yeah.
trying to find one of these separately. So if you were only able to attend one or two, or especially if it's a double session, and you haven't been before, it would be worth it.
Yep, okay, so there is an afternoon session on it.
It is worth it going. I'm not around, but
Yeah,
just be
yeah.
real, it's worth it going.
A lot of information.
I'll be in Mexico.
Okay, well, let Joanna know schedules or desires. I can pass this around, or you can look at it
Yeah.
online.
I'll look at it online.
Okay.
I haven't had a chance yet.
So impacts on ADUs, what else was on that list?
That's it on this
Got it right
list, yeah. Updating our zoning ordinance is a big thing that, the new building inspector has found a huge list of stuff that, I really think that we should have him here. You guys get to meet him and, see what his list is.
It'd be good to
That would be
probably have a joint meeting with ZBA and have him be here for that.
Yeah.
We're supposed to do that periodically anyway, so it'd probably be a good
Yeah.
session, double session.
Typically, we have that joint meeting in September, but considering it being zoning changes, what do you think about trying to do it sooner?
Yes,
Yeah,
That'd be-
absolutely.
Okay, do you all, everybody agrees?
Yeah.
So, do you want me to just see what works for them? Zoning board or committee?
Look
We're
at
not
what,
supposed to do any business tonight, so maybe we talk about this on the 28th.
No, we can talk about this. It's
why
just, it's
why not
internal
look at what's going
business.
on in April and May and try to get it before this summer comes, so if
Yeah.
we can do and it's quiet, do committee work
Mm-hmm.
during the summer.
Right. Right now, I can tell you we've got a plan, two plans to deal with at the end of March. And I think one of them may end up being pushed to April, but other than that, we should be okay. So
Set it up
maybe the
set it up for May.
May? Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so joint meeting in May.
Yeah. Just,
On our regularly scheduled night.
yeah.
like the 9th, maybe? Or whatever happens.
I'd give him the first May date, and if it doesn't work for him, make
Okay.
it
Okay.
second.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Give them both those dates and tell them our preference would be the first.
Okay.
So that's May 9 and May 23.
Yep.
Okay, and I will
once he confirms, see if you can send a thing out to ZBA as well.
Definitely.
So I just want to, if we have, is there anybody else who has other planning items that we may want to discuss over the year?
There was one that, I don't know where, I know it was on the list at some point, and we talked about when we were kind of heavy into the ADU subject, about detached, and I think may go along with, you know, some of this other information that is maybe coming out. But yeah, the ADUs, just something to think about.
Well, we've talked about ADUs and the little houses or small tiny homes, whatever, as being something we need to look at, especially if a lot of those are going to be mobile and on wheels, how we're gonna work those. So I don't think there's anything at all at this point on them, so we really should start putting out feelers to find out what other people are doing about them and look at that.
Especially if those satisfy like workforce housing requirements, because I know that's something that a lot of towns are struggling with right now, because home prices are going through the roof and not qualifying as workforce housing anymore.
Sure.
I think that one thing we need to address with the ADUs is the length of occupancy, because some people might have them and just decide, oh, this would be a good candidate for Airbnb, and set up a little income for themselves.
And I got a
Do we
new,
have any
I got a new thing
regulations
for,
on that?
There are,
Not.
there's a
You
state,
can do Airbnb for your home.
sure.
Yeah, or just to
Doesn't
run.
matter. Yeah, you can do one for your
So
home.
an ADU really is part of your home.
Yeah, we can't really,
I think you have, there's
Regulate
different
that.
fire, I guess it's all fire stuff that they have to deal with then. Because I know, I have a buddy who's the police chief in Lee, or fire chief in Lee, and he said there's building requirements that are different. If you're renting out a room in your house, there's, like, you have to have a sprinkler system, things like that, that people may not be considering. I don't know if that's something here.
Which I think that's a sticking point
Yeah.
on the, when, you know, on the ADUs is, okay, so it maybe begins as, you know, in-law, actual in-law, and then that changes, that, you know, years go by and becomes a rental. And so that's where it gets sticky, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
okay, well, we have it on the list to talk a lot about.
Yeah,
Sure.
definitely.
some of those questions are gonna be probably the building inspector too, because
Yeah.
I think when Paul was here, I think it was something to do with the square footage is set by building code, not by, necessarily by us.
Any other things that weren't on this list? It's a good list. I think with, between the master plan, looking at some rezoning reform, some transportation things, ADUs, I think we're,
I remembered one more. When we had the new town maps done, we didn't have one with floodplain done. I'm not finding it. If anybody else has.
One with what?
recollection.
Floodplains.
Do we know where the aquifer?
There was one missing in the
Aquifer,
land.
not floodplain, sorry, aquifer,
Oh, aquifers.
yes, aquifer, district.
the,
We
where the,
have-
where the map is,
With, with all the different maps that we put up on the wall,
yeah.
we don't have one that has that district outline. There, the closest we have is a very faint yellow background on certain areas that, I don't remember what it's labeled as, but that's close enough to what an old aquifer district map has. So that's what we're going by when we have people call and ask us
Okay.
about setbacks for especially septic. But,
Or the fact it's 3 acre minimums in aquifer protection district,
what?
3 acre minimum,
Yeah,
Lots.
right, that's the other issue too.
so, yeah, that's,
So,
Okay.
do we want to have a new one done, and if so, how do we go about that, is another thing that I think might be a good thing on our list.
Mm-hmm.
All agree?
Well, is it if I remember right, we had some representative of some company in here that
Right.
was the guy, he showed us all the maps.
Right,
Some of them hadn't been finished yet.
okay,
Did they ever get finished? Would be my question.
that's what I'll have to look into then, okay.
Yeah, I
Map
think
is
those
still
are
be
conservation ones,
found.
with
I can remember.
easements, conservation easements. I think those did get completed.
Okay.
But double checking is always
And
good.
you can check with him to see if he did an aquifer one.
Right, he may have one that never got printed for us.
Okay.
But That was Stratford Regional, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the
Yes.
Regional Planning
Yeah.
Commission.
I remember asking about that, because I couldn't remember seeing that map, where it was.
And it's supposedly referenced.
Supposedly it's found. But yeah, I remember when Paul was here, he's like, oh yeah, we got it. It was over here, it's over there.
Yeah,
So yeah, so that, we definitely need to find that to recreate it.
right, definitely, okay.
Okay, that's as many goals as we can do this year.
I'm gonna throw out one more.
Nope.
That's an easy one, 'cause that one's giving it back to SRPC and saying, where's this map?
Just because it was in my ballpark and nothing ever has come of it, so, the outdoor lighting issue. Should keep it on the list anyway. And
Okay.
Okay,
thank you, Derek.
you're welcome. That's it.
That's it.
Excuse me. Thank you.
We're gonna move to the acceptance of bylaws. I think everybody was CC'd some of the amendments to that. Ed, did you find in the RSA, no?
No, okay.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm shaking my head no. I did not find RSA where it said.
Did you look?
I did.
Okay.
We both did.
I looked at it then too,
All
I
right.
didn't see it
So
in
the
there.
concern was that it may be in the RSA that it does require it to be the third Wednesday, but it doesn't seem like that's required.
You
So-
said you did find it though, Joanna?
No, I said I thought I did.
Oh, okay.
Both looks, so,
Because we could not find it.
okay.
I think we'd set it in our bylaws that way to satisfy that would always be after town meeting. But I think just changing the verbiage of it, it would account for if we ever have to move town meeting, or if town meeting is not closed or commenced by the town, by the time we have said meeting. You would think it would always be done by third Wednesday of every month of March.
And your amended language was following the town meeting or
The third
Third.
Wednesday.
third Wednesday, yeah.
Or a special meeting, so we could commence a special meeting if we needed to, in the event of snowstorms or whatever, if those happen in March.
Joanna, did you say OEP totally changed its name?
Yeah, OSI.
Because it's OEP in RZO still.
Oh, good catch, where?
On Article 2, Section 3, the second sentence from the bottom.
Okay, thank you.
Do you know what the OSI stands for? Office of I can't-
Strategic initiatives.
Strategic Initiatives.
Ooh.
And I'll do a word search to see if it's mentioned again.
I've also found several places where chairman has not been changed to chairperson. There are chairpersons.
Since it is a man, it's gonna be the chair for this year. Do we have to do that this year?
Bite your tongue.
So as a board, we want chairman to change to chairperson?
Well, there's chairperson throughout, but there's also lingering chairman.
The word search,
I'm
chairman.
all for gender neutrality.
Neutral, me too, thank you. Do you want to know where they are?
No, that's our, I'll research it.
Okay.
That change the point.
So this is another one where we could vote on this today, but it wouldn't be binding until the March 28th. So you can make those changes. Why don't we do that?
And then vote on the 28th?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. And then I'll have official copies rather than these,
Yeah.
and you guys can sign them. Okay.
Is that fine with everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
And is it a little important that I go ahead and put those on the website from now on as well? It's not by signing copy on the website. I've had some people ask, how should the board run the meeting, all that kind of stuff. So if I have those on there, I can direct them.
Yeah, transparency is great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we should be sure. I think it's very helpful. I just found that little thing.
That's all we have on our agenda. Right?
Other than sending up the meetings and
Oh, there's another thing here. Stranger Streets, hard road to travel. Friday, April 27th. Looks like a half-day seminar.
And that's the Friday before the OSI conference. just so
And
you know.
Chris actually really would appreciate it if at least one board member, or especially transportation company wanted to go.
I can't, I'm in Mexico.
And I can't either.
Will be.
That's April 27th.
21st. Oh, did
Arbor
you,
Day?
did you say it was the Saturday before?
No, the Friday.
Friday before.
Oh, the
Friday the
27th.
27th
Oh,
of April,
So, I'd like to
during the
look
day,
at
9
that.
to 12:30.
You want to go to that? It's, yeah, I've been, it's really good.
so where is it?
It's in Concord,
Well, when I went to it was in
Hampshire
Concord.
Municipal Center.
We have a copy of the Hard Road to Travel book, but if you want your own copy,
Kind of mentioned too at the last meeting when Chris Darndale was here, trying to, see what we can do on our part as a board about private roads, about trying to clarify ownership. I don't know,
Oh, yeah.
Breakfast at 8:30, can't beat it.
when you do any kind of approvals.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8:30?
I drive to Concord for breakfast.
If anybody goes to
Well,
OEP
if you-
talking about, oh,
I'm actually
there's
off on
two
that day,
private
so-
roads.
So if you guys go, then I won't, because I've got other things.
And it actually works out better because Saturday is a tight, like, I wouldn't be able to stay for the entire morning of the Saturday stuff. That would be a lot easier to attend.
So if you want
you guys
Yeah.
email me to confirm. and
Yep.
That way I'll get you guys.
I will.
The private road issue brings up another good point. When we have subdivisions or even lot line adjustments done, and it deals with either a shared driveway or a private road, is it something, does anybody know, if it's something that I can require, or the board can require that I
But
receive
I'd like that.
leaves or the easements registered with the plans, so that we know it's clear and taken care of?
Well, on a lot line adjustment, they can file the lot line adjustment and have it never be valid until they pass a deed. So I don't know that we were,
We do not have a lot line adjustment.
for subdivision, definitely subdivision is, I would say, you can't back, you're not passing a deed until subdivision is done. We could probably require it to be within a certain time frame, maybe. Might be I think there's a lot of good questions there for, either OSI.
How about if we required it on the plan, right? Footnote on the plan, that a deed is, deed for the driveway or whatever it is, or a private road, is part of the plan?
We might be able to make it as a requirement in our subdivision regulation that be provided. Subdivision regulation.
We couldn't just require it at the time of when we're going through the things that are on the plan?
We could make it a
Because it's,
condition each time.
because technically, the regulation's already there. There has to be some sort of clarification, right? The regulation's already there.
We don't know if we don't know if that's appropriate yet, if the regulation is written that way. It has to be done. So we have to research on that, right.
I've experienced chasing deeds and seeing if anybody really owns a certain section of private roads and all that. And who actually between it and all. It is a nightmare, and I'm not the one that does it on a regular basis, who does. I would like to make sure that moving forward, we're not doing this to anybody in that position.
I think in the case where we do have something that's on a private road, if they're subdividing off of the private road, then we can require that easement, it has to be updated or whatever to provide access for that lot. That's definitely under the purview.
And that, maybe we could add that to our checklist of things that we're looking for to write off so that it doesn't
Yeah.
get forgotten. Because it's not something we've been doing routinely. When we start looking at things, it will just go right out of our mind. But if you add that to our checklist, are these things there?
Right.
But I think Buzz's point is good, is that I think we either should, if it's part of the law, then we should be.
We should put it on the plan.
I'd say maybe an email to either the OSI and SRPC to see what tools we have at our disposal for this would be good, because it's us and ZBA that it really affects. Any private road development goes to ZBA first, or at some point in the year.
It's a fascinating travel, but I don't know.
The question is, though, if we put it on the plan, and the plan gets registered, who follows up to make sure that the deed gets done?
It'll have to be assessing. And then we run into the same situation we had a couple of months ago.
Because
Where moving, something can't be done until they have that. They show that.
OEM, their article on it was dated. I mean, but it was, that subdivisions are they're valid for tax purposes and everything else, versus lot line adjustments are not until a deed passes. So that brings it back. If you file that plan, if it's a lot line adjustment, we have to see the deed that was passed before we act on any future plan.
This might be a stupid question, but private road, that would be part of a parcel of land. Wouldn't they be in a butter? So shouldn't we know all of the abutters? So if we're missing, if we don't, it should be someone that's in that impacted vicinity, you would think.
But we don't, it's not on this board to check the abutters. Well, it's technically, it's on the
Oh, okay.
applicant to get it right. We do check it, but it's,
But also the
RSA specifies it's on the applicant, I'm sure the abutters know. Gotcha.
need a variance to actually build on a private road, so it goes through zoning. So I'm just wondering why that question isn't coming up in zoning before it gets here. Because that's part of their. should be
Zoning's
part of
problem.
their-
I think the answer to that is that right now, a lot of the private roads are so old that even the people that live on it don't want to change it. And there's so many deeds, and in the particular case that we are looking at, the deed referenced the road as being belonging to the owner of campgrounds. And now these campgrounds, or big lots, have been turned into regular homes. But still nobody wants to own the road. It isn't used right now by Nottingham, but it's not actually a road. And we don't want to do that moving forward. But in order to do something, in order to do what we're doing, owns it, in order to act on it. We need to ask questions.
I can attest to that because I've been at the meetings where we've gone, well, who owns your road? I don't know. I assume it's so-and-so. Well, have you checked with them? We have talked, but they're not quite sure, and it ends up being this kind of circus, if you will, over who owns the road.
You just gotta use the Saks Road.
We should bring it up to this thing.
And then, and it was Wright
Yeah,
Road, and then
that's a
Gulf
good
Road, no, Gulf Road, then
Bring it
Wright
up,
Road, and it's
sure.
the season of family, but it doesn't seem to, yeah, it's an interesting. So that's what I wanted to do, is find out what we do moving forward. Obviously, we can't have.
They say that there's going to be some sessions here led by attorneys, and private roads are part of that. So we'll bring that question up. It's April, so we have to wait a little bit.
Yeah, but not too long.
All right, so, that's it for this meeting. Does anybody have any, I'll go around the room. Joe? Yeah.
I'm good. I'm ready for winter to be over.
Gary?
The only thing happening with Stratford Regional is a regional impact informational thing that board is basically required to have some, basically come together and get information to help the some of the commonwealth for campgrounds. So that's the only thing.
warrant article is Saturday, I don't remember, but we met the Board of Selectmen, the Selectmen. The conservation is, Kendrick property, and then wishes of
I have just a quick report on the transportation subcommittee we met weeks ago. Hadn't met for a while, but we went through a number of things we were talking about and came up with some good direction on what that board would like to do. And so probably on March 28th at that meeting, I'll present just a summary of that and a letter, draft letter for action items that we would recommend this board take.
Are they gonna be meeting again? Is the subcommittee going to be meeting again?
Not prior, well, we're gonna wait until the 28th
Our board meeting?
meeting. Yeah, our board meeting. We didn't set another.
We didn't, but we do have takeaways, so we have to figure out how to.
I would also mention that, this is something about a letter would, include action items to the select board.
Yes. Yeah, it's action items for the transportation subcommittee would recommend. And this board, the planning board, would have a subcommittee reporting to the planning board that move those action items forward either in doing something themselves or ourselves as a board, or through request to the select board. Letter requesting the select board have action on it. And we'll show you, we're gonna present that in a draft.
Reminder, town meeting this Saturday, 9 a.m. at school.
I'm not gonna go partying with you if you think that's a good time. Must be having still too many sleepless nights.
It's always interesting, how's that?
That is a true statement. I have nothing.
All set. Major or minor?
Will you be able to, get that on, It wasn't this morning.
Motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.